Hey everybody, Vincent here. Today I wanted to tell you a story about how I was going to make a documentary and it fell through. So this is a cautionary tale for everybody out there. I've heard people, these different famous filmmakers in the past say, well, a lot of projects don't work out, or something to that effect. And you have to be okay with that because, if you let everything bother you that, fails, you're going to be upset all the time. And those people, don't get me wrong, they're way smarter than me, first of all. But second of all, they're not wrong. I mean, obviously, with the way that Hollywood it seems to be an independent film for sure, which is what I am doing, right? It's very much independent. None of this stuff is remotely studio supported. The lack of money and resources makes it really hard to be 120% sure anything is going to happen. Today I wanted to tell you about the story. I was going to tell this story about a couple of ladies that was important in the history of my town in eastern Kentucky, and they're getting up in age. And a long story short of it is, I developed this documentary around them, talking about why they came here, why that they stayed here, and, all that. And I thought it was a great story. I think it would have been a wonderful documentary. And I mean, obviously I'm biased. I think that it would have been wonderful. And whether it was or not, the reality of it is they were very sickly and they decided to turn down the interview. Now, the thing about it is, this film was centered around them. I really needed that interview. So I made the decision, they're sickly, and out of respect for them, I'm not even going to try to do the film about them if they're not going to be in it. So I made the decision to move on. But, I thought that it wouldn't bother me, but it did a little bit, because this is a project that I was excited about. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to get too much into their story because obviously it's one I've said I'm not going to tell. I don't really feel like I'm an expert or anything, but maybe this is a good lesson to those of you out here, which it was a lesson for me, is even if you think the project won't bother you if it fails, I think it will. It did me. I thought that if it failed, I'd be okay. And there was some things around the project that made me think, maybe this isn't the right time. My family, particularly my father, is quite sickly, and so maybe this is just not the time to be making a documentary. There is definitely, I think, that thought in the back of our mind, is this a good idea? I know with me, everything I have ever made in the back of my mind is this a good idea? But when I get in the middle of making it, that thought seems to go away. I enjoy making films. I feel so alive and happy when I'm recording something, when I'm editing something, whatever. But you know what? It's not going to always be the happy times. You're going to have technical difficulties. You're going to have some problems. Nothing is always smooth sailing, unfortunately. That doesn't mean you should quit. I think that means you should not quit. I think that means you should just keep doing it, right? That's what I'm trying to do. When the tough gets tough, the tough gets going, right? You don't give up. You just keep on going. And I want to make a feature-length feature, narrative feature, and I want to make a feature-length documentary. And I hope you'll be here for those things. I've got some good ideas, and I'm working on some plans. One of these days, hopefully one of them will happen. And maybe one of your films will happen too, if you're watching this, my fellow filmmaker friends. At the end of the day, I think that we live in a wonderful time for film. It just amazes me that we're at a point now, even though that I'm having problems, and even though the community, it's not all smooth sailing, that things are as amazing as they are, right? I wouldn't have been able to make films like this and have my day job, I don't think, as easy, 30 years ago, right? I don't even think it'd be possible. YouTube certainly didn't exist 30 years ago, and I think realistically, YouTube is what got me into this. I thank you very much for watching this video. A little bit of a different kind of video than I'm used to making. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in a comment if you wish, and talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, everybody. And action.